The NSA had access to all Americans' communications, may still have, with certain groups monitored, quote, 24/7, 365 days a year, happening all the time, according to our previous guest, Russell Tice, and also credit card records. And one of many targeted groups were journalists. So in our number 2 story, do any of these journalist targets know they were targets? Let's turn to New York Times investigative reporter James Risen. He and a colleague at the Times won the 2006 Pulitzer Prize for their disclosure of the Bush administration program of warrantless wiretapping. A federal grand jury has been trying to get him to divulge confidential sources for State of War, the book he wrote on the CIA. Thanks for your time tonight, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Do you believe you have been a target of this NSA wiretap program?
Well, what I know for a fact is that the Bush administration got my phone records. Whether it was obtained by the FBI or the NSA, my lawyers and I have been trying to investigate that. We're not sure, but we know for a fact that they showed my phone records to other people in the federal grand jury, and we have asked the court to investigate that.
So your overall reaction to what Mr. Tice said tonight, what he said yesterday about the targeting of all journalists, would be what?
I don't know. I can't confirm what he said, but it's really worth pursuing, and it's worth investigating. Well, here's what I do know is that the NSA has far greater capability than it's ever been made public. And all you have to do is look back at what we reported on about the eavesdropping program, and to remember that the famous hospital scene where there was this big constitutional crisis between Bush and the Justice Department lawyers who were battling him over whether the program was legal. What they eventually disclosed was that they were arguing over a part of the program that nobody even today knows the specifics of. And so there is a large amount of operations and capabilities that the NSA has that most people don't know of its existence, including me. And so that's, one of the things that I think is interesting of what he said.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean by that. Obviously, we have to, since we have such limited information, there's a lot of theory going into this. Well, what do you make of this one? The government, if Mr. Tice is correct, wiretaps or wiretapped journalists 24/7, then focuses in on perhaps any investigative reporter who is divulging or getting near information it considers too valuable or too much in some way.
Yeah, I mean that's clearly the great fear and the threat of the kind of capability that he's talking about is it possible that all they have to do is turn a few switches and knobs and suddenly narrow the field of what they're looking at? Or as he made the point, which I thought was interesting, and I don't know if it's true or not, that his job was to minimize the collection on journalists, but he said that it's quite possible that they could be reverse engineering that to actually collect that information. So that's the great threat and the fear that I thought was interesting, and it's something really worth pursuing.
Yeah, it almost suggests a kind of NSA equivalent of Google for any one of us out here, you, me, or the viewer, and not to miss the obvious. Is the desired ultimate result, having been on both the investigative end of this and the recipient end of this, do you think that the ultimate result is suppression of reporting, either through direct coercion or a chilling effect that this could have every time somebody contemplates pursuing, publishing, broadcasting a risky story?
Yeah, that's certainly part of it. I think the other part, the more direct part, is to frighten people in the government from talking. And it's to have a chilling effect on potential whistleblowers in the government, to make them realize that there's a big brother out there that will get them if they step out of line. I think that's the more direct chilling effect on the source rather than on the reporter so much. Because we have a large organization that will support us. In my case, in my leak investigation, Simon & Schuster has been supporting me for my book, but the whistleblowers don't have that.
As Mr. Tice well knows right now, right? Indeed. James Risen of the New York Times and author of State of War with a unique perspective on this, and we thank you for sharing it tonight, sir.
Thank you very much.